Hi there, everyone. Welcome. My name is Camille Ferguson, and we want to welcome you tonight to take a break from Toxins, our spring break health reset. And this has been an amazing experience so far. We started about 2 months ago, and it's been so popular that we have continually been adding groups to our ongoing transformation. So, as many of you know, you've been plugged into our WhatsApp group and just been getting a lot of valuable knowledge about levels of toxicity that we're exposed to on a daily basis, and just getting educated about that on how we can make better choices as consumers, as well as incorporating the superfoods lifestyle. And what we've been incorporating is the ultimate lifestyle transformation plus immune support, which is a 30-day protocol to start. And then many of us are moving on to a 60, 90-day, and then even lifestyle protocol with these Purium superfoods. So I started my cleanse, my ULT, the first round, and I finished up my deeper colon dive, what we call the immersion period, about 3 weeks ago. And to be honest, I didn't get on the scale one time. I just was kind of just taking it as it went day by day. And I chose to go pretty deeply into that protocol by incorporating more fruit, more raw fruit, more raw vegetables. And yesterday I got on the scale and I lost 14 pounds, which is pretty amazing. And I would have to say that most of that was really in my gut. I've dealt with gut issues for a long time, and so it feels really good to know that this protocol is very gentle. It really meets you where you're at, and you can take it as deep as you would like. And within this community, we have so much support for you through Mary Beth. She's a regenerative detox specialist, and she'll talk a little bit more about what she's been doing. And how we can support you best. We also have Michelle Ricci, who unfortunately isn't here tonight, but she is an expert on toxicology. She's undergone a big transformation herself, building her health up from toxic mold exposure. And so it's been wonderful to see the support come in from all of these ladies and from you as a community as well. And so we just want to really encourage you to be present with this group, to plug in, to what we say, kind of lean into the fire here, because that's where you'll have the most success. I started this lifestyle about 2 years ago. I was really just looking for solutions in general to my health. I had been suffering with postpartum depletion, which I wasn't aware of at the time, but my main concern was severe chronic pain. I had been on a 2-year regimen of about 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen every day just to get through the day. And it wasn't even getting rid of the pain. It was just taking the edge off. I was also struggling with extreme adrenal fatigue from years of abuse to processed foods and caffeine, and a really busy lifestyle, high stress lifestyle, and all those things led to a cumulative effect of severe adrenal fatigue. So those are things that I've been working on. And I have to say, within 2 days of being on this protocol, 2 years back, my chronic pain was no longer noticeable. I reached out to Mary Beth, who had introduced the products to me. And I said, what's going on? I totally forgot to take my ibuprofen today. I didn't even need it. And she was talking about how this regimen really helps to get the body alkaline and also helps to detox and reduce inflammation. And so that's what I've found over the past couple of years. I've taken it to many levels and have incorporated either the ultimate lifestyle transformation plus performance products, or the daily core 4 on a regular basis. And it definitely is a lifestyle for me. And I don't want to go a day without it. So I'm so thankful for it. And I'm just really happy that you all are here, entrusting us to support you, and trusting Purium and the quality of products that we offer here with your own health. And we're just really excited to support you on your journey. So I just want to pass the mic here to Mary Beth, and we've got Amy on the line too that's going to be sharing her story. And I just wanted to also offer just a couple of tips as well that have really helped me, especially through the detox portion of this. I incorporated a lot of Epsom salt baths and skin brushing, incorporated a lot of raw fresh fruit, and was most of all very gentle with myself. I wasn't if I slipped up one day, it was like, no big deal. We just get back on the program and take it from there. And it is very forgiving and just meets you with where you're at. So thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Camille. And as Camille said, my name is Mary Beth Fleming. I'm regenerative detox specialist and one of the people that's helping to guide you through this process. There's like 7 of us or 6 of us in total, and a few of us couldn't make it tonight, but that's the beauty of working together and having accountability. So my journey in health has been since I was probably 14, 15, 16 is when I really started getting into health and learning. And I've spent the last 15, 16 years just diving in and trying all different types of cleanses and diets and herbs and this, that, and the other. And I've been on and partnered with Purium for the last 3.5 years. And really why I found Purium was I was going through some postpartum depletion, even with all of the education and knowledge I have in health and wellness. I was a little bit confused of like, wow, why am I experiencing postpartum depletion? And that's when I really started to learn and investigate more about the quality of our soils, and also this herbicide glyphosate that we are all so exposed to, that 98% of Americans test positive for in their system. And that's primarily why I found Purium, as I started to learn more about, how the quality of the soil is so important, because that's what transfers to the quality of the food and then the quality of the life for the person. And Purium's dedication to organic practices, regenerative practices, really caught my eye. And when I started taking the products, I could immediately feel that this food is more potent than even a lot of the food I was getting at the market that's organic or the farmer's market, because the soil is so mineral and vitamin rich. And so I'm sure maybe already you've started to notice that, the potency of our micronutrition, and then also the biomedic that you're taking is the only product on the market that has been verified, certified, clinically proven, and trialed to remove glyphosate from the body. And we will be sharing more and more information about this, but glyphosate is one of the mass gut microbiome disruptors. And so the things that it causes us to not do so well in our bodies is, number one, it can destroy gut villi. So we're not absorbing our nutrition as much. So even if you've experienced eating really high quality food, but you still feel like you're missing something, that's primarily because our gut villi has been weakened and we're not absorbing all of the nutrition. So the biomedic helps with that repair of the gut villi. So we're actually really absorbing the nutrition. It starts to detox the glyphosate. And then additionally, it helps to reduce the inflammation in the body and speed up that process of recovery and alkalization. So that's really what my body needed when I was in postpartum depletion. I just needed that additional micronutrition. I needed to get my gut in a place of more absorption. And I needed to do some gentle detoxifying of some of these environmental toxins that we're exposed to. And, I've had a second son since, and being on Purium the entire time, didn't experience postpartum depletion at all. And so for me, it just goes to show the power of our products, because I didn't do anything different than add this into my diet. And so that's really my tip for you guys moving forward, is just think of this as a journey. Health is a journey. I know in our culture, we kind of get in this idea where diets are like a fad, or like, hey, I'm going to do this 10-day thing or this 30-day thing. But really, it's about the consistency and the commitment to a healthy lifestyle over time. That's going to get you the results that you want to see. So like Camille said, if you're in this 30-day period, you have a couple days where you slip up or whatever, don't beat yourself up. Just jump back on, get back into the support, lean into our question and answer health calls. If you're feeling challenged, reach out and express that, because it's a journey and it can go up and down. Sometimes you're going to feel extremely good and vibrant. Other times you might go through a little bit of detox and feel, more lethargic. And, there's even emotional detox that comes with when we're shedding cells, and some of the emotional memories that are part of that process. So just know it's a journey, and that we are fully here to support you. And the more you lean in and lean into the tools and the resources we have, the more you're going to be able to educate yourself along this journey. And just know that there's no like right way to do it. It's just do what's right for you and be consistent. And you'll have, over time, like I said, in 90 days, I'm sure you'll be surprised to see what happens. So those are my tips. And Amy, I'm going to pass it back off to you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. My journey, when I found out about Purium, my best friend had shared it with me. I had a long journey with depression, anxiety, chronic pain with fibromyalgia, and I was already off most of the medications and using a large amount of cannabis to kind of get by, and kratom and CBD and all sorts of different other supplements and trying all these things. And what I found on day 3, I didn't need any kind of medical cannabis. Same kind of thing as Camille. Like I just didn't need it, and I didn't need any kratom. And before, kratom actually gave me severe withdrawals when I didn't take it. But I had no withdrawals because I was really deeply nourishing myself like I never knew before. I'm from the Midwest. I thought I was doing things right, but they don't teach you anything about nutrition. Doing right isn't close to what's possible. So this has really transformed my life. So about 10 days in, I didn't have any signs of anxiety or depression, and my mood just started lifting, and I started dreaming again. I wasn't dreaming at all using medical cannabis. I was using heavy amounts of gummies and stuff to sleep. And I just started having all these wild dreams. That cherry juice is amazing. And by the end of the 30 days, I had actually gained lean muscle, and my body went to homeostasis. I was had lost weight without really trying. And my pain level went from a 5 to a 0 to a 1, with nothing but just really whole foods and learning about alkalinity. And I really chalk things up to a lot of the biometic. That biometic glyphosate causes inflammation in your body. So removing glyphosate, that it's also clinically proven to remove C-reactive protein, which is inflammation. So that really helped my pain. And by 90 days, I just was had to come to terms that I didn't have fibromyalgia anymore. I didn't have any of these symptoms anymore, and it wasn't coming back. So I'm on month 21 now, and I am skiing, I'm hiking. I don't have that fear of pushing myself too hard and not being able to do something the next day. It's just dramatically changed my life. So I am so passionate about helping others with their journeys now. I'm in school right now to be a practitioner of regenerative health, and it's just, the more I learn, the better it grows. So my tips for this journey for you is just definitely just being consistent. It's the consistency is where it's at. And then you get to a point where you can have that balance of just being on a maintenance plan and doing things once a day in the morning and going out, and you just find that happy balance. But for now, just being consistent and getting the 2 rounds, that's probably what you're starting on. This is a simplified schedule, getting them in every day, and you'll see the results. It's awesome. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. Camille and Amy both have really inspiring stories. And, now we would like to open it up to you, Emily, Sean, Sue, Harold. Would love to hear maybe your intentions for this 30 days, or, what brought you into this group. And if you want to share anything that you've noticed so far, if you're having any struggles, we can take the next 15 minutes to kind of listen to you and support you through that. So would love to hear from you.
I'll go first. Jump into the water. So I'm Sue Reynolds Frost, and I live north of Milwaukee in Wisconsin. Moved my family here about a year ago from Chicago. So I have 3 teenagers, and it's been a year of transition. And I was introduced to this by Kelly Fitzsimmons, who Camille knows. And I would say I'll try to be as brief as possible because I know everybody wants a chance, but I think I've always been like in and out of different health conscious things in my life, sometimes really all in, sometimes really all out. I work full time. I run a business, and I have 3 teenagers. So it's been, and I feel like in the last year and a half with moving my family with my husband up here, I had 2 hip replacements last year in 2021. And so, and that journey was really crazy, just like really resisting the surgeries for a long time, but it was very much a blessing. There was nothing else that could have been done with the level of arthritis that was happening, and having scoliosis my whole life. Like, I've always been trying to figure out a way to like beat that. So the surgeries were fantastic for me in terms of getting back to more mobility. And at the same time, it's like, okay, now that I'm on the other side of that, what do I need to do to continue to support that? I had children a little bit later in life, and I want to be vibrant and healthy for them when they have their babies. I'm 54. And so I'm just taking a look at my health and my life a little bit more seriously. I think during COVID, during the chronic pain that I had before my surgeries, I was not as healthy as I should have been, drinking too much wine. And what I noticed, like in the last few days of just starting this on Monday, is that kind of habitual, like, okay, I'm going to have a glass of wine when I make dinner, and then I'm going to have a glass of wine with dinner, then I'm going to have a glass of wine. It was like, I'm not really even feeling that craving anymore, which is awesome because I don't want to lose the privilege of being able to enjoy those things in life. And I think that the sugar and all of that, the inflammation and the sleep disruption, it's not a good thing. So I'm just really excited to dive into this. So far, so good. I feel like I'm doing an intermittent fasting schedule, and I'd already been playing with intermittent fasting prior to starting this. So what I have found is that it's easier to go longer because of taking the aminos, and then at the 17 hour mark, having the shake to break the fat. Like, I just feel very sustained and nourished. And tonight I ate dinner, but I was like, I don't even really feel that hungry. So it'll be interesting to play with it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be all in.
Thank you, Sue. I'm excited for you. And that tart cherry and the biomedic should be really helpful post surgery, because I know sometimes scar tissue happens, and
oh, totally.
Yeah, those will be really good things to stick with just to continue alkalizing.
That's great. Thanks. And by the way, I have my 17-year-old doing it on a regular, and she's been having some problems with depression and anxiety for a year. And then my younger son, who's a twin, is just doing core 4 and trying to get him just acclimated, not be too extreme, because it's hard for a 15-year-old to want to dive in. So I'm trying to kind of be gentle with them, but at least get the good stuff in them.
That's so great. It's so awesome.
I guess I'll go next. So my name is Sean Weitzel. So what brought me here is I moved into an apartment with 4 different types of toxic mold growing, and it just made me unbelievably sick. So, I mean, first thing that happened was pretty much all my hair fell out. I wouldn't say all of it. I'd say over half of it. And it just really messed with my immune system. So I became allergic to pretty much everything I came in contact with, everything I put in my body. And I don't even know how many months with just a headache pretty much all the time. but I could not figure out what was causing these problems because I would be in the apartment and then I'd go home where I have dogs and cats, and I'd be equally as sick at home because I was allergic to dogs and cats then, and just could not figure out what my problem was. And then finally found out that it was the mold. And then I got in contact with Natalie, put me in contact with Michelle. And I started the ultimate lifestyle transformation and everything, and just really spending a lot of time focusing on my diet. At the end of the day, come to find out that's what I really needed to work on to clear up all these issues outside of getting outside of that apartment. So I did that. I did the first month and just started feeling a lot better. And just like, I forget, someone said, just talk about weight loss and just cleansing their system. I lost a lot of weight then. And ever since then, it's just been kind of experimenting with my diet, figuring out what I can, what I can't have. I think this is my third ultimate lifestyle transformation. And so I basically felt that my system, I was getting everything working properly again. And now just the issue is just protein intake, calorie intake, because I can't really eat anything with a bunch of calories, which leads to a little bit of a deficit, which makes me real lightheaded. So I just have to make sure I get a ton of protein in. But outside of just mental health with the mold and detoxing, just physical health too, I work a lot, I work out a lot, and just the results I've seen physically ever since I started Purium and just that pure form of protein is just unbelievable. So I guess I just see results pretty much everywhere and just want to continue to grow with Purium and everything. So it's been a process, just learning everything and making sure that doing everything I need to do, but just been getting better every day. So I guess that's kind of why I really like it.
I'm so glad to hear that, Sean. And I'm so glad you found Michelle, because she's a great person to guide you through that mold toxicity. And I'm just going to comment on this because Emily, you had a question in the chat too about like how not to lose too much weight and, continue to maintain. So I will just say that there is a phase, like Sean, this is probably why you lost some weight in the beginning, where your body needs to let go of acidic waste. And there is a phase where you got to get that stuff out so that your body can rebuild on an alkaline base instead of just rebuilding on acid or rebuilding on mold or, things, lymphatic waste that needs to get out of the body. So typically there is a phase of shedding, and sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's just a little bit. And especially the tart cherry and these alkalizing foods, they're going to start opening your kidneys more so that you can release some of that. So that's why some people see kind of more of a quick weight loss, because their kidneys are actually opening enough to let that waste go in their bowels. But then there is a point when you start to rebuild. And like Amy said, when your body starts to reach that homeostasis of where it's like, okay, I'm ready to rebuild. And so, when that comes, it's usually around the 90-day point, or so. You go through ups and downs of shedding and rebuilding. Through many, many times you do that. But the amino acids are actually, maybe Michelle has explained this to you, Sean, but they are the most assimilated source of protein you'll get. So, when someone eats like a pound of chicken, let's say a complex protein, they usually are only absorbing anywhere from 30 to 45% of the amino acids of the protein, and the rest goes into undigested waste and becomes acidic matter in the body. But with the aminos, it's 99% net utilized. So you're actually getting way more protein, way more amino acid assimilation than you are when you eat like, oh, I need to eat all this protein, I need to eat 2 pounds of steak, but how much are you actually absorbing? So the aminos, if you're wanting to rebuild, just take more aminos. Like, they're powerful. The owner of the company, he takes up to 30 a day. And granted, that can get kind of expensive, but my husband takes 20 a day. I take 10 to 15 a day. And your body is going to utilize like one of those is one amino acid. It is equivalent to about like a gram of protein or so, because of how much your body is assimilating. So you can take 10 and you can be rest assured that you're getting more protein absorbed into the body than you would be if you were eating 1 pound of chicken. So hopefully that's making sense. And then some other ways to rebuild is our Love Meal shake is really good. It has some sprouted grains in there. So that might be something that you want to start incorporating in after your 90 days. It's also really restorative for the adrenals, and the adrenals are really what regulate our hormones. So sometimes we need some hormone regulation to get back to that homeostasis. And then also the MVP Sport. I don't know if you've tried that yet, but if you are, really athletic, that can be a good one to incorporate as well, because it has about 32 grams of plant-based protein in it as well. So the key factors are, you just want to make sure you're continuing to support your kidney filtration, which the best kinds of foods for your kidneys are, your citrus and your melons and your berries, your tart cherry. So continue to consume a lot of those foods by themselves, separate from your proteins. And then also adding in, the Love Meal, some extra aminos, some MVP Sport, those kinds of things can be really supportive for that rebuilding phase. So hopefully that was helpful. Obviously, like the spirulina in our shakes is also really high in protein. We have our cracked cell chlorella, which is one of the most alkalizing foods on the planet, but also high in plant protein as well. So there are lots of places that you can be rest assured that you're getting good quality protein. So just wanted to add that in.
Thank you.
I noticed we just had Melanie join the call. Welcome, Melanie. Did you want to share any of your takeaways or questions, any kind of struggles or intentions that you might have as you move through this process?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I just realized I got on here late, but I had wanted to join. I don't know, maybe just a little encouragement. I'm in day 4 of the cleanse during my second ULT, and I just feel I'm just like so worn out, like every day for 4 days. I'm having a hard time. I'm like ready to give it all up, but I don't want to give it all up because I've come this far. So I don't know, just trying to hang in there. Overall, it's been a really amazing experience, and I've been more motivated doing this to do good things for my body than anything else. So it's been really good. But I'm
So,
like,
Melanie,
ooh.
can I ask you a question? Being like
Yeah.
only on day 4 of the very beginning. So you're saying after doing ULT for 30 days?
Yes.
That you're experiencing. That's interesting. Why is that?
Well, I did the ULT with the 10-day cleanse in the middle.
Right.
And then I'm starting my second ULT. And like 5 days in, I started the second cleanse because of the parasite thing.
Oh. Got it.
They recommend doing it a second time.
Right.
So I'm just doing the stricter portion to
Got
try
it.
and support that. And I'm
Like
just
right
like,
up front. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was what I was supposed to do, but maybe I'm not. Anyone want to tell me?
No, you're good, Melanie. You're good. You're right.
Okay.
And
like
again, it can be a journey. It's like, that's why we say it starts with 30 days. Because some people, that first 30 days is really just, I like to consider it like peeling layers of an onion off. Some people, that first layer of the onion is thicker and they have more of a detox experience that first 30 days. Some people, that first layer is thin and that first 30 days feels like, wow, that was a breeze, no worries. But then they get to that second layer, that next 30 days, and that layer is a little bit thicker and you're getting deeper and you're doing your second round of parasite cleansing, which means the parasites that are being cleansed now are the ones that are deeper in your system. And so your body's kind of digging some extra stuff out. And so that's why I say it's a journey. It can go up and down. We have phases of detox and we have phases of rebuild, and we have phases of detox. My teacher, Dr. Robert Morse, who I studied with, he said that it takes 7 years to actually fully detox the body from the head to toe. And it's not like a whole full 7 years of detox, but it's like the ups and the downs. Because if you think about however many years you've been exposed to environmental toxins or eating a sad diet or injuries or this, that, and the other, it's really like a month of pretty intense restoration and repair that your body has to do to get back to that level of homeostasis. So if you're feeling this lull, just know that it's a phase and it will pass, and that your body's doing some deep work right now to get that next layer peeled back. So really, like what Camille said in the beginning, just be gentle with yourself. Your organs are working double time right now when you're going through a detox like that. So Epsom salts baths, some essential oil use. If you feel like you need to rest and you can, just rest, because the number one best thing for detoxing is resting, because your adrenals need that rest to be able to let go. So just be gentle with yourself. Know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And typically these detox symptoms don't last for longer than 4 to 7 days. Sometimes, depending on what you're dealing with, it might be a little bit longer. But the more fruit you eat, the more raw food you eat, the more it's going to speed up the detox process and intensify it. If you feel like you need to slow things down, that's when you incorporate some more healthy fats like avocados, or some more steamed foods, or maybe a sweet potato. Those kinds of things are going to kind of just slow down the detox. So it's kind of like an art. It really is. Sometimes you got to go hard if you're dealing with some intense stuff. That's why we say during the parasite cleanse, try to just go a little bit harder so that we can get that stuff out. But you also have to monitor your energy levels, and I don't know how demanding your work is or your life is, so you got to find that balance as well. So hopefully that's a little helpful. And Amy and Camille, maybe you can add something on that as well.
Yeah, I found that getting in the sun helps reboost my energy levels if you are able to. I live in Chicago, so it's not always sunny, and that's not always an option. But now that it's nice outside, like, catch the sun when you can, get your feet on the ground in the bare grass, like that grounding will also just, it's something about it. It just kind of, it equalizes your energy levels. And it's very restorative. The dry skin brushing has helped me a lot too, because that starts to circulate the lymphatic system. So if you can find YouTube videos, but you basically can do it with a dry washcloth, or you can buy a natural skin brush at like your health food store, Whole Foods or Amazon, and just move from brush from the bottom up towards your heart, and then even like gentle movements and circulation. I think Mary Beth, I don't know if you have a video, but I remember you posted that a while back, but just some gentle movement to kind of move that lymphatic system so that your kidneys can start to filter out those toxins even more. That's really helped me. And then, like Mary Beth said, just getting as much rest as you can, and getting to bed early. And just nurture yourself, and remember that it will pass. And for me, I noticed that certain foods would make me feel more lethargic. So kind of paying attention to that. If I'm not prepared, I'll tend to go towards something that's like, we might think is easier, but in the long run, it has more effect. So just preparing your fruits and vegetables ahead of time, so that when you are hungry, you can just go for something that's going to serve the detox rather than hinder it. So those would be some of my tips.
Some of my tips would be, the lymphatic system, I didn't really realize this, like why we do the dry brushing and stuff is because like our blood has a pump, right? And the lymph doesn't. So we really have to help it move through. So that was kind of interesting to me. That's why I did some gentle stretching, and I think you can even do the lymph with like a wooden spoon. There's videos, and just listening to your body, like being consistent and realizing that, like, if you're sad and these emotions come up, like a lot of my stuff ends up being emotional when I'm going through the parasite cleanse. So just keep going and reminding yourself what you're doing, and going through it instead of like halting and getting scared. Just remember things are going to come up, but if you can go through them, if you get over it faster than regressing and stopping. I don't know if that makes sense, but
well, your video and Richie Kelly, the other woman who posted a video the other day on the WhatsApp, was so helpful. Like, it was really helpful. I think I am just like so tired and I'm confused. I was like, is that normal? So this, you're all telling me that's normal.
It's normal.
Okay. I'm also like PMSing, so there's a lot going on, but yeah. Okay, thanks.
And one thing to remember too is when you're going through a parasite cleanse, like things are literally dying off in your body. And so there may be a phase where you're like, I'm dying, because like it's just the psychological. I don't know if this is too much information, but parasites can actually tap into your vagus nerve. They've done science on it, and they can actually get into your thought processes. So it's really quite interesting, like especially when we're having those cravings. It's not really us having those cravings. It's what's inside of us that wants to survive and loves to eat those things. That's like, oh my God, if I don't eat a cheese pizza right now, I'm going to die. Because they are. So just remember that, like, I don't know if that's unsettling, but there are things that are moving through you, and there's emotions moving through, and there are certain things that are being shed and let go of and dying off. So it's be gentle with yourself. And also something really helpful for moving the lymph system. The lymph system is our waste system. So that's where like all of the excess acidic waste, all of the byproducts from the food you eat, from the cells, when they're eliminating, it all goes into the lymph. And when you're detoxing, sometimes the lymph gets a little overstressed because you're stirring things up, and it's, our waste system is, our septic system is getting a little backed up, let's say. So you can do hot and cold showers. It's really good. Like, get in the shower, that stimulates the lymph system, kind of gets the blood flow moving, like Amy was saying, so that it starts moving. If you have an opportunity to sit in a sauna, just sweating, but gently sweating, because if you're doing high endurance activities, that puts a little stress on the adrenals, which makes it hard for the body to let go. So like, they say jumping on the trampoline lightly or doing that sweating, because your skin is actually your biggest eliminatory organ. And then also deep breathing, because our lungs are another eliminatory organ. And we actually, I think it's about 85% of our waste gets eliminated through our lungs every day. So just really focusing on that deep breathing too, in the morning and the evening, can actually help you move through this phase quicker. So added that in as well.
Can I ask a question about protein? Animal protein. So one of the things I'm picking up from this call is I definitely need to increase the fruit intake especially as at the first meal. And I've been gravitating more towards things that I normally would do in my quote unquote healthy eating, which is like salad, avocado, sweet potato, maybe some tuna, some chicken, like those kind of things. And I'm not like putting a judgment on that as it's bad at all. I'm wondering if during this phase, if that should be something I regulate more, and I want to know your opinion about that.
Personally, I would say, like, for me, I try to stick really alkalizing first thing in the morning. So the aminos are pure protein. So I start my day with lemon water and the aminos, and then I move into some fruit. And then when I get hungry, I move into my shake. And usually my heavier meal is more in the later afternoon. So as you're moving through this process, I would just focus on, because when you sleep, especially if you're detoxing, your body, because you're resting, your body brings a lot of acid to the surface. So in the morning, the first thing we want to do is move that through with alkalizing foods. And that's why we say, the lemon water, the fruit, then the shake, because you're just like moving that through and allowing the body to let that go. And then later in the day, kind of starting to put more of because anything cooked is acidic to the body. I'm not saying that that's bad, but it is more acidic to the body, So I would just think about that. I would think about really just like flooding the body with alkalization in the mornings. And then, having more of if you want to do the tuna and the chicken and the sweet potato, do more of that more towards the later afternoon, evening time. That's my suggestions.
Great. That's awesome. And easy to do.
Yeah, and Sue, so glad that you're here, and it's nice to see you face to face too.
Yeah.
As you're going through the 10-day portion, you are going to, it's advised to stay away from those animal proteins and the starchy foods, sugars, alcohol, processed foods, things like that, because those are all things that the parasites really thrive on. So our motivation there is to kill them and to, help to remove the candida and the other waste. So this is the portion right now where you kind of are easing into that, consciously cleaning up your diet. And then during that middle 10-day portion, as much as you possibly can, stay away from all of those animal based proteins and foods like dairy, eggs, all of that. So, increasing more fruit, doing your salad and whatnot later in the day is optimal. Although, like what Melanie was saying, like it can be challenging, but it's just a 10-day portion. So, just kind of keeping that in mind as you head towards that. This is kind of like a warm-up phase, then we're going to go deeper and then kind of cool down towards the end of the month.
Okay.
And on that note, part of it too is just letting your digestive system take a break, because our digestive system takes about 80% of our energy. And when we're detoxing, as Melanie's saying, it takes energy. And so when we're trying to restore and rebuild, we really just want to let our bodies, like, instead of putting all that energy into digesting, let's put that energy into restoring and rebuilding during that 10-day phase. So that's the other part of it, is just more like give your digestion a break so that it can really release what's no longer serving it.
That's good.
Harold, do you want to chime in? I know you're going to be starting your second one. How are you doing? Maybe not.
Well, Harold, we love hearing from you and what's up, that's for sure. So continue that on. And please remember that we have our Wednesday support calls every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Standard for 30 minutes. And we pop the link in the WhatsApp. And then we also have our Regenerative Health Support app. So if you haven't been in there yet, check out the topics section. There's tons of modules to really support you, especially if you're going through the 10-day detox, what to expect, things to help you. You can ask questions in there as well if you want. And then obviously any questions you have, the person who invited you, you can always reach out to them, and then you can always reach out to us in the WhatsApp. So please lean into the support and let us know how it's going. We like to hear all of it, the wins and the challenges and all of it. And just super excited to have you guys on this journey.
Thanks. Very helpful information. Really great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for being here, everyone. So great to be on this journey with you.